Hi, I'm Monal Goel, Y16 batch Chemical Engineering. I did my third year internship at Dr. Reddy's, and in this video, I'll be telling you about how you should prepare for the internship program, mainly for the core internships. And also, I'll be telling you what was my experience at Reddy's. So, starting with the preparation part, you'll have to mainly deal with three things. First is the technical test, next is the group discussion, and the third part is the interviews. So, for the technical test, there will be questions on quant and aptitude, and there will be simple questions on it, so you don't have to prepare much for the aptitude section. For the core questions, you'll have to revise few of your courses that I'll be telling you in the preparation for the interviews. For the group discussions, Reddy's take a technical group discussion. So in that, they'll be giving you a scenario, maybe a unit operation, or any of the practical scenario, and you'll have to implement your chemical engineering understanding onto it. So what they test in this basically is that how well you have understood the assumptions, how well you have understood the various is assumptions in, for example, the Navier-Stokes equation. What are the assumptions? So basically, they test your understanding in the subject, and you'll have to implement those things, as well as they'll be testing your creative skills. How well you're able to break down the problem and analyze each important part. So for this, I don't think you'll have to prepare much for it. It's just that don't mug up the courses, just understand them well. Okay, so the next is preparation for the interview section. So for the interview, there will be a technical interview, and in some cases there will be HR interview as well. First, I'll be telling you about the HR interviews. So for the HR interviews, in my interview, basically, few of the situations were asked. For that, I didn't prepare. You for the Okay, so HR interview, you can prepare for your introduction well, you can prepare your weaknesses and strengths, questions on those, and that will be sufficient for it. For the technical interviews, you'll have to revise your courses. Courses mainly third year course of ESO thermodynamics, and fourth semester courses of fluid mechanics and chemical engineering thermodynamics. Also, you'll have to keep pace with few of your fifth semester courses. That is, you'll have to deal with a bit of chemical simulation lab that is there. So in that, you'll be taught various designing of a distillation column. So those topics are important. So I'm not saying that you have to prepare them before, but what you can do is, like, if they are going in the that's going on in the classes, you can just like understand them well and read them along with the internship program going on. So don't leave those topics. Those are also important. And other than these courses, you won't be requiring as much other courses, since heat transfer and mass transfer, those topics will be required, but they will be required at the time you'll be joining your company, because you'll be applying those things. So you'll have to understand them as well, but they are not required for the interview parts. Other than that, for the interview, you'll have to prepare a resume well, revise all the previous internships and projects you did, and apart from this, there were a few puzzles were also asked. I didn't prepare anything for it. I think there's no much preparation required for it. This much is sufficient for the interviews. Okay, so the next part is the work experience part. So my experience at Reddy's was a very enriching one. I got to, like, as I told, the kind of GD they presented was much more the same kind of work. I was given a process of a it was a live project, first of all. So I was given the entire process of a medicine. How do they prepare, and the entire medicine, what all are the unit operations involved in it. And I had to break down each process and analyze what are the factors involved in it. So it was more of a experience for me, because the unit operations taught in the academics at our college, it's way different from what it's been implemented in the industry. Uh, so I got to learn many unit operations. I got to understand what all are the what all how I should apply my mass transfer and heat transfer concepts onto it. So in all, other than this, there were I got to interact with many people, understand their projects as well, and yeah, so it was a very good internship. And of course, besides like academics and this, I also got to make lot many friends there and interact with a mentor and and yeah, so it was a great experience. So talking about the future prospects of this field, pharma, I don't think there is much to tell about. There are always new projects coming up, and each medicine require a different process, a different unit operation. So you'll get to learn a lot. A lot of diversity is there. So hence I accepted the PPO and I'll be joining Reddy's. So that's all. If you guys have any other doubt, you can ping me whenever you want. That's it.